Hello, viewers. Welcome back. I went to send my condolences to everyone in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso and Chicago area even. We had here in the Chicago area 7 deaths from shootings over the weekend. Let's just hold everyone in the light. And shine the light on these white supremacist terrorists so that the FBI can find them before they do more harm. I went to read today on the Sacklers, and in particular Richard Sackler. He was head of Purdue Pharmaceuticals, who put out OxyContin, the first opioid that got everybody addicted. If you watch any videos on him, which are hard to find, I highly recommend watching John Oliver's videos. He did one a couple of months ago. He's done some on the Sacklers a few years ago also, but you can look for his more recent one, which was done the last couple of months. I think it was done in May, if I remember right. Richard Sackler, head of Purdue Pharmacy, got OxyContin approved within 11 months. Normally it takes years to get a new drug approved. He got it approved in 11 months. Like Trump in lawsuits, he likes to say, I don't know, I don't recall, I don't remember. So he's got amnesia or he's got major Alzheimer's. I went to see if Richard Sackler, are you going to get in legal trouble? Now, they keep settling out of court. The big pharma, they've made billions off the opioid epidemic. And I understand some of you keep saying, without the opioids, my pain would be intolerable. But there are other medications that are less addictive. If you're going on them short term, versus long term, there are other ways, whether holistic, and a lot of you I know foo-foo holistic, but there are other ways, other drugs, other medications that used to be used, other medications that could be used or created. Cannabis, I've seen a lot of comments on cannabis helping with pain. We know it helps with seizures also. More research needs to be done on cannabis and what is it, CBD? May read on that next. So the other thing is, a national drug database. Someone recommended we need a database that shows when there's an area that is out of control. I forget the name of the town in West Virginia that had millions of pills given out and their population is like 400. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Doctors, pharmaceutical salesmen, all these people need to be held accountable. But in particular, I want to look at Richard Sackler. Paying off, settling, making settlements, it's not enough. If you lost your son or daughter, if you lost a spouse, if you lost a sibling, if you lost anyone in your family to opioids, why isn't someone put in jail? Murder usually requires you to be put in jail. And let's call a spade a spade. When you know something's addictive and you put it out there and you get all these doctors to prescribe it and everybody's making money off of it. It's just crazy. My father used to be a pharmaceutical salesman, and he used to talk about every January when the flu epidemics would stir up every year. That was his big money time of year. So his challenge was to stay healthy and not catch the flu sitting around doctors' offices and pharmacies where sick people were all the time, so that he could make his, because he worked on commission, so he could make his big money that would hold him through the year. And Unfortunately, a lot of these pharmaceutical companies are set up that way. The incentive of working on commission makes you go out there and pedal it harder. If you've ever worked on commission, I worked on commission when I was in college, doing sales, and it's a big incentive to get out there and push to get the sales, and to get it to as many customers as you can. So, Richard Sackler, are you ever going to be held accountable in a bigger way besides just, you've made billions in profits? Yeah, he's got financial security and he can offer settlements. Are you ever going to be held accountable in a bigger way? Yeah, this is on a global scale. This is also end of a cycle, beginning something new. So might be some new lawsuit coming that might do something. Yeah, judgment sitting on him. Something from the past coming up again. It's a rebirth, new beginning. His challenge is to lay low. That's his challenge. At the root of this, decisions that he's made and victory in the past, being victorious, making all his profits off of it, the decisions are going to come into challenge by the courts. But there's dirty tricks going on too with this victory. A lot of dirty tricks that are going to be coming out in the future. His challenge of trying to get to calmer waters here can also be a moving away. GOP card and big money. Lobbying the GOP, lobbying the FDA, lobbying. Yeah, it's going to give birth to a new investigation to put an end to this cycle. I feel like there might be an investigation done in the House here. Nancy Pelosi and her other investigators celebrating a win over this. They're seeking answers of the imbalance. They're seeking answers of how did this get so unbalanced. The government influences those that were satisfied with everything that the Sackler family put forward. Moneyed proposals and lobbyists that charged in. Sackler's going to be put in defense mode, but this is also about climbing to higher ground here. So I feel like it's going to take time. Got two cards on time, patience, time, because of how he integrated the business. And watching this, it's like watching all the pills. So it doesn't feel like anything's being done for a while, but he betrayed everyone. This is heartbreak and sordid truth coming out. So will justice be done eventually? His time's up. I'm not getting the jail card, but it looks to me like something will be done. CBD, which is a derivative of medical marijuana without the I forget what it is. It's in cannabis that gets you high. CBD's been approved in a lot of places. You see it in creams, you see it in over-the-counter things. I want to look at, does it work for pain? Does it work for pain? Because opioids, most people are on it for pain. How effective is CBD for fighting pain? Could be a new vehicle, could be a new way, could be successful. Right now, CBD, trying to protect the rights to it is what I'm getting, because there's a bond with our politicians, there's a bond with our lobbyists and with the FDA and these pharmaceutical companies, something old coming back up again. That's the challenge. The pharmaceutical companies really don't like legal marijuana because they can't control it. They don't make the profits off of it. And CBD could put an end to them and into this cycle of opioid addiction. CBD could be a star player in this, working for pain. And it's interesting because I have a couple of three wand cards here. Wands for me have to do with skeletal system when I do health readings. And I'm feeling that, the plan's already off the ground here in the near future to combat pain. Making it legal, new beginnings with that. So legalizing it on a bigger scale, in a bigger picture. Yeah, so people who have chronic pain, it can manifest, it can be used to treat. It's one of the tools that can be used to treat, to get to calmer waters, to calm the nerves, to calm the inflammation. Swords for me when I do health readings have to do with the central nervous system and the brain and the nerves. So when the nerves get fired up, and people will do anything, this is winning at all costs. They'll do anything to stop the pain. CBD could be a big vehicle with this. There's going to be a rebirth with this. Great illumination shed on this. Some decisions need to be made. I feel more research done on it. Again, Judgment card also has to do with rebirth. So I do feel like there will be a rebirth and a resurgence in legalizing marijuana in more places, and CBD. So, I'm just going to ask, a lot of you mentioned there are already drugs to fight opioid addiction, but they're very expensive. And of course, the pharmaceutical companies that produce the opioids are going to make the profits off the drug to treat it. It's like a self-fulfilled prophecy. Here, let me get everybody addicted and make money off that, and then let me provide the cure and make money off that. Something old coming up again, something from the past coming up again. So, how does our opioid epidemic look over the next 5 years? Here in America, I'm going to focus on just America. How does our epidemic look here in America in the U.S. over the next 5 years? There's going to be laws made. Going to be a lot of lawsuits too. Sword of truth, everybody will understand where it's coming from, the epidemic. The challenge, targeting all ages, but children, like the sort of truth on children that have had sports injuries and things that are being put on the opioids is not going to sit right with a lot of people. But this is also something from the past coming up again. That's the challenge. Here's the pharmaceutical companies offering up the solution. Here we have the drug to cure from this. And over here in the near future is the big money that they pay out and the big money they make off of the cure. So it's good news for the pharmaceutical companies because they've got this winning at all costs mentality. This is winning without honor. So they cause the epidemic. They're making the money off of the cure, and it's a vicious cycle. This was their plan. They know that people that are addicted are tied down and stuck in it. They're stuck in the addiction. And that was their plan all along, to make money off both ends. They knew there were that these were addictive. They knew it, and it's dark money. It's dark money, working with politicians and the FDA on dark money. Everybody knew they were addictive. Here's the middleman, the lobbyists making money off of it. The imbalance of money. It's caused a huge loss. It's caused a huge loss, and these big pharma companies are going to have to face part of these losses. Yeah, this is the structure they built, and legally they're going to have to do some explaining on this. So in 5 years, do I see it lessening the drug addictions? No. Do I see them having to answer in court a little bit more? Yes. Yes. And even if Richard Sackler doesn't want to answer questions in court, they should keep asking them. Because they pull out tapes of him saying certain things, and it's just atrocious. It's just atrocious. And then he tries to act like a big man by donating money to museums and stuff. People have been protesting his exhibits in museums and things. He's trying to buy his way into the social elite, and he's getting booed out, basically. People are protesting his exhibits in, like, the Guggenheim, and there was a museum in London. These people that want to be the social elite, but making money off of people's deaths, and people's addictions, and the impoverished, and just horrible karma. Horrible karma. So I'm going to stop there on this one. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please click like and subscribe, and we'll see you in another video soon, I hope. Bye.